I want to start this video by telling you one brutally honest, maybe surprising, and potentially controversial statement about myself. When I was a young man in my 20s, I deserved to be in the friend zone far more often than I ever ended up there. I made all the hallmark mistakes, and I was most definitely a sufferer of nice guy syndrome. And indeed, I did get friend zoned from time to time, but not nearly as much as I should have. The reason I didn't is the controversial bit. When I was 21, I was a good-looking, if slightly short guy who went to gym 5 days a week and was in great shape. I rode sports bikes, I had constant access to party drugs, and I was studying both engineering and business at one of the hardest universities to get into in Sydney. I just had enough of the high-value markers that enough women overlooked my horrendous nice guy and friendzone habits and still pursued me. Then, once I got enough attention from women, I switched and started feeling entitled to attractive women, so my friendzone habits dissipated organically without my really having to work on them. It was dumb luck in my case. I'm telling you this because it's too easy nowadays for dating coaches to pretend like they're always these praiseworthy icons of hard work and persistence, when the truth is always more nuanced. And I want you to know you can trust me to tell the truth, even when it doesn't put me in the perfect light as a man or coach. The truth is, I hated that old version of myself, the one who deserved to be in the friend zone. I hate that part of myself more than I deserve. I'm a bit disgusted by it. That's my baggage. But I want you to know it's there. As a result, I'm still super sensitive to seeing friendzone behavior in men because I instantly recognize my own past cringeworthy habits around women. Over the past 13 years coaching men, it's fair to say teaching men to bust out of the friend zone has become one of the most common things that I do. So today, let's look at how that's done. Oh, and a thumbs up and a comment on this video helps me a ton. So please show some love if you've learned something new. So if you're watching this video and you constantly get stuck in the friend zone with women, let me do a quick, dirty, and probably highly accurate cold read on you. I also know that you have a deep-seated fear of rejection. In fact, I'd bet money on it, because you just can't get stuck in the friend zone consistently without that fear. Let me tell you about what I do on dates, and you can decide how familiar this is to you. So, from the second I've asked her if she'd like to go on a date, I'd feel an awareness that things could go badly with her very easily. She might suddenly cancel the date, or lose interest, or decide it's not worth the effort. Everything in my head from that point felt like I was focused on balancing an egg on a spoon, scared of moving around and disrupting things too much in case the egg falls off the spoon. And incidentally, she cancels the date. When she'd meet for the date, I'd be thinking to myself, okay, I have to impress her. I have to show her that I'm a good guy. I can't scare her off. I can't let her think I'm sexually motivated like these other guys out there, even though I secretly very much am. I need to keep making her feel good by smiling at her lots and laughing at all her jokes. I can't create too much friction or I might scare her away. So after all of that good behavior, many guys will get friend zoned. And after so much worrying and effort, that shit gets frustrating real fast. So what many other coaches do here to deal with this is they make two big mistakes. Firstly, they flip to the other side and say, well, if being too nice isn't working, let's be assholes and watch the women pour in. And secondly, they get hyper-focused on what exactly you say and what you do with women. And while it's true that assholes will get laid more than nice guys, it's entirely unnecessary and makes the world a worse place. Not to mention, it will erode your self-esteem and make it harder to have deeper interpersonal connections with both men and women in the future. It's also far more powerful to really focus on the why of your words and actions, rather than purposely try to change what you specifically say. Because when it comes to dating, mindsets are everything. I can break almost every rule in the bad boy rule book and still do well with women, because my why for my behaviors is healthy. The core problem lies with the difference between playing to win versus playing not to lose. Playing not to lose is a big mistake people make in business, in sports, and in dating. It's a very common form of competing in any market, and it's inspired by fear. So all your mental energy is invested in avoiding the pain of loss. Your risk-taking is heavily reduced, and all your strategies become conservative. The worst thing about playing not to lose is that it works. Just a tiny little bit. You rarely blow out in a huge display of fireworks. Your business won't crash, your team won't be utterly decimated, and the women won't tell you you're an asshole and tell you to get lost. But you know what she will do instead? She'll friendzone you. It's the tepid, uninspiring way of not losing completely, but definitely not winning either. Congratulations, you didn't completely lose. But this isn't a winning strategy for anyone. It offers safety in exchange for results. The truth is that if you want to be great in sport or business or dating, you have to fail, and fail big time now and again. You have to throw the gauntlet out there, not knowing if it's going to work, but knowing that playing it too safe is never going to get you anywhere. It's so easy to look at successful businessmen with hot women on their arms and say, oh, she's only with him for his money. But if you forget that to get that money, he had to be a man who wasn't afraid of rejection, who was going to be clear about what he wants and isn't shy of failing. Sure, the money doesn't hurt one little bit, but don't forget the rest of what the man has to be in order to have the money in the first place, at least most of the time. If you want to avoid the friend zone, then you absolutely must change the way you think about dating. You have to stop trying to avoid losing her. Think of yourself like Tarzan. Me Tarzan, me want Jane. Don't complicate things in your head any further than they need to be. Go for what you want. Say what you want. Express your sexual desire. Put yourself out there. Don't laugh if what she said wasn't funny. Disagree with her if she said something that you disagree with. She's either going to dig you or she isn't. Don't give a crap. Just play to win. And you know what? You may do this perfectly, and you still may not be successful with women at all. All those friend zones might suddenly turn into outright rejections. But you know what? That's perfect. It's perfect for now, because it means you made critical progress. Because now you're actually ready to start working on the rest of your interactions. Because now you're facing reality. You're not hiding behind niceness as a way to avoid full-on failure. But until you're truly failing for the right reasons with the right intention, you can never actually improve. Honestly, I've been working with men for 13 years, and if guys are stuck trying to avoid failing, they can never actually get better. Because they'll constantly avoid really learning new skills because those new skills might result in harsher failures. Most of your struggles with women aren't about not knowing what to say or how to tease or how to build rapport. Most of your struggles are going on inside your own head. If you are constantly struggling with rejection after rejection after rejection with women, you probably need to take a step back and do some work on yourself first. If you'd like to work with me on that, reach out to me via my website, which is schoolofattraction.com if you're international, or schoolofattraction.com.au if you live in Australia. As always, I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.